I like a team that won ugly the next week. And of all the teams that advanced in the playoffs from last week, you got to agree with me. Philadelphia probably was the least impressive in their win over Green Bay. Just the fact that they struggled in the first half in that game. They couldn't get the offense going. Jalen Hurts only had like 39 yards passing. And the fact that Green Bay gift wrapped the game for him with 4 turnovers. So, yeah, the Rams looked impressive and Philly didn't. The Rams look like a live underdog. And I love when the public wants to grab the underdog because the public gravitates to favorites and over. That's their human nature. But when I see everybody wanting to grab a dog, I'm going to take a long, hard look at the favorite because that dog looks way too easy. The other point of it, the Rams down the stretch, they went 6-1. But let's be honest. Of the final 7 games, they only faced, really one good team in that stretch for me when they did beat Buffalo. Now, when they beat Buffalo 44-42, that was a game that I was on, Prez, but it was a situational play because Buffalo was in the worst sandwich spot you could be in. They were coming off beating Kansas City in their playoff revenge game. They followed that up with a Sunday night appearance. And remember the snowstorm? And they were yucking it up on the sidelines, having a good time because they blew out the 49ers. They were making snow angels on the field and everything. Then they had to go to L.A. to play the Rams with Detroit on deck. Perfect situation, and they got the job done against Buffalo. I just think that this team, yes, they're good. I don't think they're as good as they looked. Last week against Minnesota, here's something to remember. Detroit gave them the blueprint as far as how to attack that offensive line. You saw the week before what Detroit, who doesn't have a great defense, did to the Minnesota Vikings. And I talked about Sam Darnold being a statue. But here's the other part. You're Sean McVay, and you're preparing for the Minnesota Vikings offense. It's like looking in a mirror. Remember, the head coach of Minnesota was on his staff. It was his offensive coordinator. He knew what was going to be coming and how to defend it, and he did a great job of it. It's not going to be as easy this week. You got a warm weather team coming to Philadelphia. Check the weather reports. I know in Pennsylvania it's been ugly all week this week. I know on my side of the state, my former side, Pittsburgh, they got blasted with snow yesterday. So I like Philadelphia in this one. And let's face it, Jalen Hurts, that was the first game back after missing 3 weeks with the injury. He was rusty. He should be better this week. Right. And if they get anything out of the passing game, it's only going to open things up even more for Barkley. Even though they did nothing with the passing game, he still had 119 yards rushing last week. I like them, and here's the final kicker. Since 2022, Philadelphia, when they are at home and a favorite of 7 or less, Prez, 13-2 against the spread. I'll go ahead. I'll take Philadelphia to move on. We're repeating last week's promotion. We had a great response to it. We're going to run it again this week. And those of you that took advantage of that 7-day package for $77 using the coupon code MD77, that's MD77, and get 7 days for $77, you were treated to another 5% play. Our 5% play last week was the Houston Texans. They came home in grand fashion for us. And right now looks like we are going to have another 5% play this weekend. So head on over to Wager Talk and jump on board for that one. Those 5% plays, by the way, Perez, 19-6 since last February.